Hello, Julie Chance with Action Strategies by Design. In this month's video series for everything DiSC facilitators and participants, we're going to look at change through the lens of DiSC. The speed of change seems to be accelerating at warp speed, and as humans, we often react negatively to this change, especially when it's imposed upon us with little or no warning, which seems to often be the case when it comes to change within organizations. Reactions to change are driven by a lot of different factors, including whether or not the person chose the change, whether they view it as a positive or a negative, and how much change they're experiencing overall in their lives, as well as personality style. While just one factor, personality style can account for a significant amount of the variability in reactions to change, and the Everything DiSC model can provide insight into how to approach change with team members. DiSC is a needs-based model that looks at preferences, priorities, motivators, stressors, fears, and understanding these aspects of personality can be especially helpful in communicating changes and managing resistance to that change. Let's look at change through the lens of each of the DiSC styles. Individuals with the D or the dominant style tend to take bold action, and they're willing to take risks to achieve results. This makes them open to change, but they also have a high need for control. So while they're comfortable being the initiator of change, they likely resist change that is thrust upon them. In addition, they tend to be impatient and have a low level of tolerance for the conversations and the time that's often needed to get others on board with change. So as the initiator of change, they may fail to take the steps necessary to gain alignment that's needed to successfully implement that change. If you need to get someone with the D style on board with a change, see if you can find a way to make it their idea. They may already be open to the change and simply resist it because they're being told they have to change. If at all possible, give them options and allow them the opportunity to help shape the change. For example, provide them with your desired outcome and let them determine what changes are necessary to actually accomplish that outcome. People with the I or influence style are bold and action-oriented as well. They prioritize enthusiasm, and they tend to be optimistic and expressive. They're willing to take risks, especially if it helps them progress towards exciting solutions. They value social recognition and having their ideas heard and considered. Because they're visionary and like novelty, they tend to initiate a lot of change. And the propensity of individuals with the I style to jump from one exciting idea to another can be frustrating for those that they work with. It can cause working for them to feel like priorities are constantly changing and that there's never an opportunity to complete what's started. People with the I style might resist change when they don't have the opportunity to share their feelings, or if they perceive it might decrease their social status. If you need to get someone with the I style on board with change, focus on the big picture and exciting outcomes. Give them the opportunity to express their feelings and use their gift of inspiration to get others on board with the change. Also, emphasize the recognition that successful change can bring to them. Those with the steadiness or S style place a high value on stability and harmony. They tend to be more risk-averse than the D and I styles, and they prefer to work at a moderate pace and to avoid rapid change. Because of these values and preferences, they're often a little slower to both initiate and accept change, especially if those changes are likely to cause discord or disharmony with those they interact with. Their hesitancy to initiate change can be frustrating to others, but because people with the S style value collaboration and like to get input from others regarding any changes, one of their strengths in the change process is getting team members on board with a change early on. If you need to get someone with the S style on board with a change, emphasize what's staying the same. Give them time to process and get used to the idea of change, and provide them with a step-by-step process for implementing change. People with the C or the conscientiousness style focus on accuracy and getting things right. Similar to individuals with the S style, they value stability and they tend to take a calculated approach to risk. They are skilled at analyzing options objectively, and they have a gift for uncovering potential problems. They tend to be skeptical of and often question the viability of proposed change. This can lead others to judge them as being resistant. In truth, though, they're simply trying to understand the details of the planned change and identify flaws that might impact the viability of the change. Their cautious approach to change can sometimes slow things down. On the other hand, their need for detailed analysis and the ability of those with the C style to identify potential flaws early in the process bring significant value to the team and to the organization. If you need to get someone with the C style on board with change, provide them with as many specifics as possible, including why the change is necessary. Give them time to analyze the change and its potential implications, and provide them an opportunity to ask questions and be open to hearing their concerns. From a DiSC perspective, when individuals initiating change are those of a D or an I style, they can be quick to make changes and are not naturally inclined to spend the time necessary to bring others along. And those with the D style in particular are more focused on tasks and results than on people and feelings. On the flip side, to be comfortable with change, those with the S or the C style need their feelings or their concerns to be acknowledged. They also need the time to process the change and to really understand its implications. Much of the anxiety and ensuing drama that surrounds change can be avoided with simple conversations that allow for two-way dialogue and a little bit of time to process the impending change. If you'd like to explore more about how you can use an understanding of everything DiSC to implement change more effectively in your organization, please reach out.